In this video, we're going to talk about the Invisalign process. Hi, my name is Kevin Pino. Welcome to the channel. And let me give you a little background about myself. I have several years experience as an orthodontic technician. What we do is we actually fabricate the appliances. My specific specialty is indirect banding. If you've had a kid or you had something done yourself where you had to have an appliance stuck into your mouth, what we do is we carve the teeth and put those little bands, these little metal sheets around your teeth to hold the appliance in. That's where I specialize. I have experience in several areas and I've seen over 100,000 cases myself. That being said, a few years ago I went through the process myself. I had what was severe crowding of my teeth. I didn't have to do anything crazy with expanders, but what it was is the anterior or the front of my teeth here, the cuspids, which is your canine teeth, my top and bottom were smushed together to a point where everything was overlapping. And I actually have several models here of what my teeth used to look like. So what they look like today, okay, and what they used to look like. Severe crowding. You can actually see my teeth were completely overlapped. If you tip it up this way, I'm actually looking at my watch here, so I'm trying to do it once. You can see how it's kicked out like that. I had this big tooth just popping out and overlapping, and the same with the lower. And right now I have what they look like today. And, perfect arch. That's the upper, that's the lower. All right, all together, just like that, all the way around. I am missing a tooth that's been missing a long time, but I'm uncertain if I'm gonna get an implant. Okay, so here's how it works. You wanna get 2 or 3 quotes from different orthodontists. An orthodontist, they're trained as dentists, but they do 2 more years of specialty education to do orthodontics. And what they're looking at is your bite as a whole and the shape of your skull and how your bite is functioning. So he's looking at your teeth in pairs and the whole arch and how they can manipulate your skull and move everything into place to get the correct bite. Now, if you're dealing with crowding, what they have to do is they have to take your teeth and spread them out a little bit and start moving them into place. If you have something severe like class 2 where your teeth are way out like this, you might need more severe work. You might need braces, you might need some appliances in your mouth, and it may take a little bit longer to do that. Or you could be what's called class 3, where your bite is like this. Now, Invisalign can fix a lot of these, but in severe cases, you might have to do something more drastic with an appliance, and you might have to use headgear, elastics, hooks, a lot of different things come into play when it gets severe. In my case, it was just crowding. It kind of stunk. What the doctor's gonna do is they're gonna do your consultation, see what kind of treatment you need, if you can actually do Invisalign. They're going to take a scan of your mouth, which is how we got this, and they use what's called the iTero scanner. It looks like a big old phone. They put it in your mouth and it takes a 3D scan of your whole mouth. They'll do, starting from usually the upper right, they'll go all the way around, and then they'll continue down here all the way back to the lower left side, or the right side, whatever side it is. After that, they upload that, send it out to Invisalign. They will use their software to manipulate your teeth, print out a series of models, and then make your trays on top of those models. So you'll actually get a whole series. You can see here, I'll just do a beginning, middle, and end, because I have 5 here. Beginning, middle, and end. But you'll get a whole series of trays, and this is what they print them on. What your doctor is gonna wanna do is they're gonna want to see you every few cases, or they'll probably start with 3 or 4, and then they'll move you up to 6 depending on how you react to it. Usually they'll advise you to wear 1 tray for 2 weeks. Now, most of the movement that happens only happens in the first 3 days, and then the tray itself actually winds up being a retainer. What's happening is, say, using my hand, this is the socket that your tooth sits in. What they do is they add pressure to one side, and as it shifts, the bone on one side will start to break down, and then the bone on the other side will start to regenerate. And the tooth has to move at a slow pace and a slow pressure in order for the tooth to break down on one side and for it to regenerate on the other. If they go too fast, the other side isn't going to regenerate and you're going to have loose teeth. If they go too slow, nothing's gonna happen. So they wanna monitor that over the first few trays just to see if everything's moving. The first few trays are essentially gonna be just opening up some space between your teeth so they can move it. It's much easier to move all your teeth when there's a small gap in between rather than when they're on top of each other. So they'll send you home with a few. You'll go through that every 2 weeks. It'll be sore. Your first 2 to 3 trays, it'll be really sore. You won't want to eat like apples. No, it's not nightmarish like, oh my God, I can't sleep sore. You just take an ibuprofen or an aspirin and you'll be fine. So the first tray is definitely going to be achy. Don't eat anything hard or try not to. All your teeth will be sore. But once you get through like your first 10, you know what to expect. It's really not that bad. After about 10 trays, your doctor seeing if all your teeth are tracking, they might rescan and do a whole new run and just throw out the other trays. And it depends on whether or not your teeth are tracking like they expected them, or if you're actually using your retainers like you're supposed to. You have to take them out whenever you eat food. You can't chew with them, you'll ruin them. And you can't drink anything other than water. And you should really, really listen to your doctor about hygiene. Brush your teeth everywhere you can. You can get a small portable toothbrush and those little travel toothpaste. I'll leave some in the description below. You can pick them up on Amazon and just put them in your pocket. Bring them everywhere. When you have to eat, just pop them out, run them under some water, put them in your tray container, brush your teeth. After you're done, throw them back in. It's a real simple process. In the later sessions, when they rescan, it's essentially the same process all the way through. When you get to the finishing touches, they may switch from doing a tray for 2 weeks to 1 week because you're doing actually smaller movements after you've gone through all the big movements. Once you start getting to like here where the arch looks pretty uniform all the way around with just minor movements and they want to close up the gaps. Another thing that you might want to add is if it's severe work, you might have to put these little brackets on. Now this is a 3D model, so it's all blended into one color. But those little brackets are actually, they're just little attachments that are bonded to your teeth. They don't hurt. You can only see them when you look real close and you have your retainers in. They're actually tooth colored, so when you don't have your retainers in and you're talking to someone, you can't even see them, so don't worry about that. When they take them off, they use just a dental tool with a little like deburring tool. It's like a little stone, and they just grind them off. It's really not bad. You don't need any Novocaine or anything like that. It's not painful. It only takes a few seconds per tooth. When you're done, you have to wear your retainers every night. Probably, first off, you want to wear them a couple weeks, just like you would every other retainer. You'll be used to it, but you have to wear them every night. Because over time, your teeth are going to want to move. Just the muscles in your mouth, you've had crooked teeth for a long time. They're going to want to go back to where they are. If you lose a tooth, like mine, I have this guy thing, I always have to be concerned about that thing drifting, so you have to wear your retainers. But it's not that bad. The benefit of Invisalign versus braces, when you get to the point of wearing your retainer, you've essentially been doing it the whole time. You have 1 to 2 years of experience. Maybe if you did a 6-month treatment, you have 6 months of experience. It's not a big deal. When you're doing actual braces, you don't have that habit already formed of wearing your retainer, so your teeth could drift, but don't not do it because you're spending a lot of money. These treatments can go, depending on your area, from like $4,000 to $6,000. So you want to talk to a few different doctors, see what the prices are, maybe get some reviews. If you like this video, click the subscribe button over here. No, over here. Hit the bell notification for other future videos so you can be alerted right away. And if you have any comments, if you're an orthodontist themselves or a lab tech and you stumbled upon this, I'd like to have a conversation with you. Leave a comment down below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And thanks.